times he didn't go with this lady, that lady. He might be kind of funny at home. You know what I mean? And they got all that information. They got everybody's information. So they can scare you, they can bribe you, they can do what they want. Benefits of no skeletons in the closet. I'm just saying, we ain't got no skeletons in our closet. They can take it or leave it. They can be mad or glad. No, make no difference. Okay. We done talked about who would benefit. Situation critical. All the control of the groups, Black Lives Matter, and all of these other groups. It leads back to who can manipulate it and who can control it. The automatic people jumping up, making people, Jews will not replace us. Them crackers that's paid to do that, right? Walking around with torchlights like Crystal Lock during Hitler's time. The other white folks know it because when they had a white nationalist meeting here in D.C., nobody went to that crackers stuff. Because they know, hey, what do they call it? What's that kind of resistance? Leaderless resistance? They scared to even invite any new members in. Bell the Cat number 2, that's us. Iranians, that's the last thing I'm going to mention. This all fits in with them too. See, you get a chance when you go all over the country for years, you begin to pick out patterns. And you see the patterns of people that stayed here, the patterns of people that went home. You also see the patterns of their behavior. I was watching Ahmed Hijab yesterday on TV, old lecture. And the people said, this guy knows what's going on, which I feel the same way, And that's brothers right over there that would mention some of our brothers. Oh, so-and-so, he went bad. I said, he went bad. I said, that's one of our main homeboys. I said, well, yeah, but he's with Ahmed Hijab. So what does that have to do with anything? Because that crew over there, they're all on one crew. And the crap that they told everybody, when we went over there to this last program, I could see it all over the country. Everybody had been told the same thing. And everybody's going along with it. Everybody is going along with it. And the ones that don't want to go along with it, they have that stupid look. They don't know they got it. They're like Negroes. They have a stupid, I don't want to do this, but I was told to do this. This was at the meeting in San Francisco a couple of years ago. Because San Francisco, Oakland, everybody there, we know we went hanging thick together. And they told them something, And the two leaders from here went out there just to make sure. But they don't never go, maybe one will go, but not the whole staff go out there to watch. So we have a prominent position in this world, so we might as well use it on all of them. And this global cycle, see, when we got in with that whole, first it was all the Sunnis for the revolution. That was basically what Dr. Siddiqui, all those writings you would see. The Shias wasn't supporting the revolution a whole lot because of anti-Allied Fakir, their leader was kind of funny. Well, I don't say it's funny. But anyway, long story. So what we discovered was there's patterns of behavior all over here and in Iran. And all the people that was, everybody that, I'm not saying they used me, but they like elevated themselves. Like the people that go back, every one of them is the head of Tehran Times. Sheikh so-and-so is the head of, and you know, in English, and so-and-so other brother down in Texas. He even said on an interview, he said, we're here in Iran, but Imam Musa is in America. He was here. But when he was here, he was pro New York Imam type thing, and he's Shia too. I said, boy, y'all got to get yourself together. You know, I'm saying you discover a whole lot. And then when when Dr. Khalil Siddiqui passes away, and that whole crew gets funny, that whole crew gets funny. You know, how could all of them get funny? And our great leaders just saying, boy, I really like that Imam Musa. This guy's got it going on. That's what it sounded like to me. And you don't see none of them guys around here now. You know, right away, they started acting funny. They couldn't do it overnight. But within a couple of years, they was funny. And they was doing stuff trying to make me feel outside the crew. I just hanging there with them. Oh, I don't see what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just imagination. You know? And pretty soon, they just have to break. And at big meetings where they're being told, we got to step this up with Crescent and do this, that, and other. And I'm looking at them like, why don't you tell them, look at all our articles and what we're doing, you know, strategic management under condition of repression. Shoot, that's 10 and 12 years ago, right? That's at that time. They don't mention it. And I'm looking at them like, why don't you tell them that the people, the ambassador and such and such, that some of us is on the road. Not the street prayer, nor his wife, nor friend of the press up there in Canada. Nobody said nothing. So, anyway, let's see. So this has been a serious, process that we've been going through. You know, we don't have no complaints about nothing, you know. But right now, it's beyond, you know, what do we call it? Islamic Institute, counter-Zionist, American psychological warfare. We have to actually do something now. We have to stop them because they're playing around with, just let it drift a little. This thing could, if it goes wrong, it could be a lot of little loose ends, man.
It seems to be already happening. I mean, if you have people getting shot,
yeah,
and because they're, whether it's manipulated or they're hearing things and they feel they got to react to conspiracies,
yeah,
people are dying.
People are, hey,
Trump,
and they don't know what, they don't know why.
They don't know why.
That's where we come in.
Right.
I would say we're the only ones that know the whole story. And that's why we're saying to our institutional type people, you have a little bit of the wherewithal, y'all form a team. You don't have to give no signs and signals, but this is beyond an individual's ability to do. This stuff is zooping running. Can't nobody go run and catch it. Y'all slow down and let's do this, let's do the no. So y'all wanted the good to happen? Hell, if we gonna trust you, you can trust us. What the hell, who are you? I mean, you know, but think about it. We gonna trust you, and your record is way worse than ours. We got a stellar record, you know. Boy Scouts honor and stuff, right? That's what we do. We've been doing that. You guys, I don't know, tell the truth. Yay, man. Fork tongueism, where did it start? Where did it start? It's not us. So if we're going to trust you and you got a forked tongue, a historical forked tongue, and we got Boy Scouts honor right here, I say let's go. If we don't, boy, this crew, you think you've been in wars now? All your children, they're going to be dope fiends, and they're going to be crazy, and they're going to be poor. Poor, you know, like poor. They, 40% up there, they're going to be all right. But the rest of y'all, the other 60%, you're going to be poor. You got to pay your rent. You can't pay your rent now. It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just bad.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
looking like that second wave hits, and you know they start evicting people this winter. Like you're gonna have rebellion, like old school people out in the streets, anarchy. Like it ain't gonna be nice, you know.
That's just the whole country. If you was out on the West Coast, I don't know if you ever seen LA, San Francisco. You wouldn't believe it. Shanty towns for miles. I mean, the streets that I used to know in Oakland, it's old blankets and old, it looks like South Africa.
Wow.
Shanties,
Yeah.
mile after mile. And the increase,
Right. Yeah.
It's refugee camps.
huh?
Refugee camps.
And worse.
Worse, I was going to say, because the refugee camps at least have some electricity.
Okay,
And some helpful food.
we're offering our services. Okay. Basically, it's if y'all want to take it, fine. If you don't, starve to death or just be mad. But we're not gonna give up on you. And we suggest don't give up on yourself. No, this is serious. It's like don't give up on yourself.
Right.
Even if you sit around stupid for another 2 or 3 years till you can smell the flames. Well, 2 or 3 years is a long time now.
The way this
The
thing.
way stuff. Are there any questions or any comments?
Yeah, we got a few on today's, and then we got some on Sunday's lecture. But it was a question that came through.
Should I read Imam Jamil's letter? Have you read that letter? You read it? Okay. And you read the attached letter? Okay.
The letter made sense once I read the attached letters.
I didn't see the
Yeah, there's some extra letters afterwards,
Oh,
which are
okay.
from brothers from the communities. Basically, two different kind of opposite views, you know, about what happened. And I was like, okay, that's why, you know, Imam Jamil, you know, in his response came out, you know, swinging, not swinging, but you know, heavy hand. That would make sense.
See, first of all,
all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no.
okay, we know, let's go back to, let's go back 20 years ago when this stuff happened. Imam Jamil was being harassed by the police. Technically, we could go back to 96 when he was arrested down there. It was supposedly shooting a drug dealer or something like that. He had to let him go to the police. The drug dealer took Shahada and called care program said that the police made me do this. And that worked out fine. But usually when that happens, they come back, and they came back and they was harassing Imam Jamil. So Imam Jamil told the community, supposedly, that if they do such and such and such anymore, I don't know what you heard, but that we was gonna do such and such, you know. Okay. They said, if you do, you're on your own. Is that what you heard?
I didn't hear that.
That you, what I mean is they're not gonna support.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear
That was said. That the people around, they know what to say.
That's how they behave. You know?
Oh, no, you don't have to worry. Look, it's no surprise. Imam Jamil told me in 1983, they not with me.
I know another brother, he told that too. So that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it was clear. They not, he already knew. See, the situation, it's difficult for a person in leadership when you know you are surrounded by, that's, most people, they don't function too well on that, under that causes some imbalances. But anyway, so he knew what he was dealing with. Of course, in the court, the police said, well, the sheriff didn't know he was going to arrest Imam Jamil. You know, that's what the deputy said. But anyway, Imam Jamil's case was really mishandled. I took some monies down there. I'm not going to say how much, because the crackpots call, they say, you know, we call. The crackpots actually say they called somebody in Atlanta and they don't know. And they're crackpots. They are really, why would I pay attention to crackpots? And who would you know in Atlanta but another police or somebody stupid like them, right? Anyway, all of our brothers, we just have always studied. And it's not that if you're wound up too tight, but if you keep stuff too close to you, it's easy for them to make you make a mistake. And that's what people might have thought that it, but on this subject of Bayah,
Right. Yeah.
the brothers had Bayah to Imam Jamil. And Bayah meaning good times and bad times. Atiullah, Tiarasu, Wa'ulalam, Minkum, Dinam, Nasiya. You know, Nasiya to Allah, His book, His messengers, and those with authority among you. You know, the Khalifa and stuff like that. Okay, so one of the brothers sent me this today, called me this, but I had known a little bit about it. But I don't like none of the way it happened. I don't like the people that were involved. They all, this is one case where the people just did not act responsible, but they didn't act like they cared. I mean, even I can see that his son is, you know, he's concerned. But that's just his son. You know, there are other people that are lawyers in the family. You know, you can be in a the law library, you can keep a case going for 50 or 60, you can be coming back to court for a long time just from the law library without legal help from outside. So, I think that was unfortunate. Is that thing still on?
Yeah, it
But
is.
I would say to, boss man asked me right here, if somebody is some friend or family or something, well, heck, if you want to do a favor, cut somebody some slack that's deserve it. Give them time service, 20 years, good God Almighty, 20 years. Maybe time served and stuff like that. But now for us, we're going out there and we're going to work on. The reason I know, like, some of this stuff, because the cases I got in California are ridiculous. They gave me those cases so that I would act off of them, so I could, they're illegal. Over and over again illegal, not just illegal, they're like, you can't do that. Okay? So somebody is trying to arrange that. I'm going to go out there and take advantage of it and move ahead. But I would like for us to play a part in getting Imam Jamil and some of the other brothers out of prison. And they have an old saying, if you ever heard the brothers down in Louisiana, what's that prison down?
Worse, real bad.
Yeah, this
Angola.
Angola. Some of the lifers they was interviewing, and they say, I don't want to die in this prison and be buried in Boot Hill, the prison cemetery. Okay, so of course we know he wouldn't be buried in penitentiary cemetery, but we should try to do what we can. And by the way, everybody,